tough. It looks like the call, but they're going to have to just skinny that yellow guard to make it.
Yeah.
It is maybe there, though, if they hit it and did manage to roll their shooter back up, but they're going to
take a closer look at that.
Call to the other end. I think this is one that angles are pretty key here.
They do need to get to the inside of that one. Just the right amount. Very skinny, like you said.
Big shot for Lonnie Shop, and her final rock of this 7th end. BC trailing by 2, facing 2. Needs to get to the inside of the red Nova Scotia stone.
It's hanging out there.
And she hits nose, and it will be another steal of 1 for Nova Scotia, and they will take a 6-3 lead as we head to the 8th end of the 2016 Travelers Curling Club Championship in Kelowna.
All right, they've got their work cut out this end.
With the 4-rock rule, certainly 3 is still a possibility for British Columbia. We've also seen leads slip away from some teams. It's been a tight game all throughout, and this is the biggest deficit we've seen yet, and that can sometimes get to teams that have the lead. You have to switch your strategy around. You get used to playing a little bit differently, making hits. You might have to make a couple peels here if you're Nova Scotia. Nerves can slip in. You're that close to the win, so this is certainly not over by any stretch. Final just on the sheet beside us here, the men's draw between Alberta and Northern Ontario. Just waiting for them to hang the score. It was handshakes after 7, and it looked to be, we'll have to wait for that one from the officials to hold it up. Someone obviously got a big end there because it was 4-3 going into the 7th end. Looks like Northern Ontario, by the body language, picked up the win there. Some high fives for the men from the north.
So now BC's rock is in the house, and BC would have wanted to put out the guard and try to be as offensive as possible. So here comes, here comes a clean end, or a potentially clean end.
Really get a good shot there. The different duct tape on those brooms to indicate the approved sweep. Good
Different
shot.
colored duct tape, eh?
Yep. Good job by Denise Fitzgerald as she hits and rolls to the button. Still probably need some guards if you're the BC team down 3. And welcome back to those that were watching the men's game. We did have some technical difficulties. Apologies for that. And we are back here. It's been a lot of Nova Scotia in the last couple ends. And they opened, I think the last our viewers saw of it was the potential shot from Michelle Williams to pick up 3 or 4. She made it. And then the 6th end, it was another steal of 1 for Nova Scotia. It's been the team from the East Coast that has been in control since then. They grabbed another steal after a really well-executed end in the 7th end, Laurie. And this end, BC doesn't have any guards, down 3, and that is going to be a hole that they're going to have to climb out of now as Nova Scotia will look to up their hitting game.
That's right. And then 7th end, we saw BC have a nice setup. There was some opportunity there for BC to pick up multiple points. Nova Scotia made some nice shots, and in the end, BC had a really difficult double for a blank, maybe 1, and hit and stuck for 1. So here we are. Hit and stuck and gave Nova Scotia 1.
And handshakes over in our men's game there. Ontario taking on Newfoundland and Labrador. Ontario, the team out of the Cataraqui Golf and Country Club, are hosts next year for the Travelers. They went to 2-0 with the win. And in our feature game, Nova Scotia, 2 Reds separated on the house. Lots of time left, Laurie, it looks like, for both teams. It's been a fairly fast game. most of the other games that are still in play are still playing the 7th, and we're here in the 8th end. So.
Right, no issue with time. There wasn't a lot of decision-making discussions. Things ticked along fairly quickly. BC's got themselves needing to make some freezes here. Very nice line. A little more weight than they needed.
Both of these teams did not have the closest of first games, so this is probably a good builder for their nerves and their character for the rest of the week. Both of them, even down 3 or up 3, it's a good test to play the 8th end and get all the way through a game, get a feel for the ice.
That's right, and they're well-matched teams. The two. Sorry, we're going to miss a bit of a miss there. That's unfortunate. But they have been well matched, and they've curled fairly well, and they've kept each other. Each end, they've kept each other on their toes, so they've had to throw some good shots to get where they are right now. Okay, an opportunity for BC here.
Mickey Colburn will try the freeze on the Nova Scotia stone.
Sweepers are backing off.
And will slip through. "94 volunteers here putting on a great event for the curlers, the fans, from drivers to those that are helping with shuttling the teams around and making sure that everything is just right at the Kelowna Curling Club downstairs. Lots of effort went into this place. We have timers, those helping with the standings. Great opportunity to get exposure to a national event as a viewer as well. This one looked like it may have picked something off the ice. First pick I think we've seen of the game.
I think you're right. Not what you want to see, especially in the 10th end, or the last end here, the 8th end.
Abby Miller just cleaning the path after that stone.
And now with both men's games done beside them, they should be able to hear each other just fine out there.
Northern Ontario the men picked up a big 4 points in the 7th end to win that one 8-3.
That's what finished the game there.
And Manitoba men finished off early after the 6th end 10-4 on the neighboring sheet.
Okay, this one's looking like it has a really nice line.
It's in, and that at this point is important. BC's still in it. Two rocks in the house, 3 to come for BC. This is Nova Scotia. Somebody clean is what they're calling. They had a pick on their last one in this same spot. If you're going to have picks, have them when you're a little safer lead, and this time of the week you certainly don't want them creeping into the playoffs or
right.
Final shots of your skip, that sort of thing. That can really be no fun for both teams, actually.
No, it's nothing you want to see as an opponent or a player. Still an opportunity here, so if BC can sneak around the corner, look at the ice they're taking. That's a lot of curl on this ice. So if they can sneak around that yellow rock and freeze to the red one.
Kim Johnson with her out turn. Her last rock of this end. Needing to take 3.
Just cleaning here. curling nicely.
Good weight. Still sliding though. Actually, great weight.
Terrific weight. Yeah, another another foot over would have been nice. Beautiful weight.
Lori, do you go for the? Yeah, they're looking at it. Do you just play for the open one and?
Yeah, the scoreboard will help you dictate the call here. Being 3 up gives you the license to have the opportunity to pick either one here. So I think taking the one up top is a good call. I don't think there's any reason to not take the one at the back. I think that the jam is difficult there, so you could throw out the one at the back without much.
I guess they're looking at be aware of both jams, but half a rock on the top one will do the trick.
Looks like they're going after the one in the back. Yeah, now if the BC rock had curled another half a rock, I think it'd be an easier decision to go after the top one.
Michelle Williams in her first rock, up 3 without hammer in this 8th end. Make one of them go away.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll do just that and actually still sit 2.
Yeah, it's kept both rocks in play. Well done. That was a very beautiful shot. Well thrown.
Yeah.
Nice weight. BC will continue their drawing game. See if they can freeze one down in there.
Gotta watch these inside out down the center line. They can be tricky, right? You have a bit of a quicker path sometimes in the middle, and then it slows down into the fresher ice as it gets out there. But she just watched her teammate put one in the perfect spot, and there is another great draw. Wow.
Look at that. Perfect.
BC now sitting first and third shot with that little bump that occurred on the back one. Really got to watch here now that you avoid the jam if you're Michelle Williams. Make one of them go away. Same turn, Lori?
Same turn. That's right. Same shot. The curl on the ice here, you can get away with an awful lot. The curl on the ice is what caught them a little bit with that draw that BC was just about to make. And because it was so tight to the guard that's in the 12-foot, they had to sweep it and created that little bump. So that's left the rock on the tee line here a little bit open.
Make it go away is her goal. Michelle Williams with her final stone of the 8th end, up 3. Waiting for it to curl, avoid the jam at the back. And she'll achieve it, and that should do it.
There we go.
And it does. Nova Scotia picks up their second win of the women's side of the 2016 Travelers Curling Club Championship, running British Columbia out of stones for a 6-3 final. British Columbia moves to 1-1, and the ladies out of the Campbell River Curling Club on Vancouver Island. Back in action this afternoon, as is Nova Scotia. You see some elbow bumps right now, making sure that everyone stays healthy.
Right, staying away from the handshakes. So congratulations. They've got their work cut out for them this afternoon. It's a nice start for Nova Scotia with 2 wins.
It's bonus curling coverage here at the 2016 Travelers Curling Club Championship. We're going to provide you as best coverage as we can here on the women's sheet on sheet 6. It's Northern Ontario taking on the Territories. And just getting a score update.
Right. So the Territories are up 7-5. Playing the 8th end and
Have hammer, it looks like. The Territories
have
throwing
hammer.
yellow.
That's right.
In this game, a couple of steals in it. We had the Territories stole the second end to go up 3-0, and at one point they actually led 6-2, 7-2, in fact. But it was a big steal for Northern Ontario women in the 7th end as they grabbed 2 points. So looking at the house right now, it's Northern Ontario not in a terrible situation. There's actually 2 yellow guards behind that Travelers sign there that are staggered. So they're working with some front rocks. So if you imagine where the umbrella is in the Travelers banner that's set up, there's actually 2 yellow stones there in play. There you get a good view of them. Thanks to our crew here at the Kelowna Curling Club for the live stream bonus curling coverage.
And now they're calling a timeout. They've got some options here to discuss.
The Northwest Territories women skip by Kristen Thompson as she calls down for Sarah Schroeder and Alana Jansen the second with lead Anneli Jacella, sorry. Decision to be made here, or do you?
Right, so Territories are up to Northern Ontario's down. Northern Ontario's rocks are around the outsides of the house, around the outer rings.
I guess make sure that your skip, Kristen, if you're the Territories, has that has the 4 foot to at least cut them down to only 1 or get the point. You're up 2 with hammer.
I expect that this sheet is curling the same as ours is. It's pretty consistent across this club. So with the yellow rocks staggered the way they are, should be able to get to the full 4 foot covered here.
Third, her last rock. This team I was speaking with yesterday was very appreciative of all the support they have up in Yellowknife. They curl out of the Yellowknife Curling Club. Sharon Cormier is, as they call her, a mother to this team, someone that has kind of taken them under her wing and helped. And Sharon is no stranger to national championships, having gone to several Scotties Tournament of Hearts. Outturn hit looks like the call. Double opportunity is there, too, if they can hit about a half a rock on that back 4 foot stone. Jokella and Jansen sweeping hard to get it by. They do. Hit, wedge out. They do the trick of getting one of them out. Miss the back 8 foot stone, but still a little better than it was. But going to give Northern Ontario an opportunity to junk it up a bit more.
Mm-hmm. Northern Ontario will want to try to keep this one into the top of the 4.
Look at the Northern Ontario skip, Kelly Stevenson Beta. She heads to the other end. We have third Tricia Sampson's holding the broom for her. Marcy Berry and Tammy DePiro are on the sweep. Needs to steal the 2 to tie it up. Right now they have that in the house, but 8 and 12 foot is the counters. Behind a pair of Territories, somewhat staggered guards.
Okay, keeping it clean.
Barry and DeBiro are staying really close to that rock. That just took off, though. Wow. It just snapped at the end, I think, on them and surprised them a bit. Bumps open the situation. A few more finals out there in the men's event. New Brunswick has topped British Columbia 8-5. It's right now 6-4 for Saskatchewan as they play third stones in the 8th end. Saskatchewan leads Quebec. The Ontario men, as we mentioned, won 6-3 over Newfoundland and Labrador. We had an Alberta loss in the Northern Ontario game on the men's side. 8-3, the Northern Ontario men won that one. Manitoba got past Nunavut 10-4. And we still have another men's game in action out there. It's Yukon territory taking on Nova Scotia. And that's locked at 6 coming home in the 8th end. In women's play, Manitoba leads 5-4 over Prince Edward Island over on sheet 12, and it's an 8-5 lead for Alberta. They're looking to run New Brunswick out of rocks here in the 8th end. And back to our bonus coverage curling here. It's the territories that at this point, Lori probably wants to make sure that they get one of their stones to outcount those two to make things a little easier breathing as they...
Right, they've had a long discussion around this call. In particular, they've been having a lot of discussion around where to put the broom. I think they got caught off guard too by that last rock that hooked so hard.
Really curled. Mm-hmm. If you're heavy, though, I guess you could wick off the top Northern Ontario stone and roll in, or potentially get through them both and maybe nuzzle up to the other Northern Ontario stone. It's just so important here to outcount one of these rocks and make things a little less nerve-wracking on Thompson's last one.
Exactly.
This looks like a lot of weight.
Yeah, just keeping it clean. I'm gonna find the hole there.
Weight's definitely coming down now. There's 2 yellow guards. They just got by that one. What a shot here by Kristen Thompson to sit shot rock, and you'll hear the Kelowna Curling Club give some applause for that. Wow.
Beautiful. Tucked right in there, stayed in front of the tee line, biting the button.
Acknowledgement of nice shot there, too, by Northern Ontario, and they go right for the timeout. Lots of time left, but it's a good chance to maybe regroup, let the momentum settle. But the territories have to be riding high after that shot. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, really putting the pressure on. Beautiful weight. Nice to have your weight like that in the last end. Well done.
Some hugs there from the ladies. Good team shot, though. I mean, the sweepers knew when to get on it, and they got it right past both those guards. They had to navigate 2 of the rocks out front.
Right, and you have to call on the sweeping early the way it curls here. So you're sweeping to almost skin by the outside guard.
These 2 teams are in the women's Pool B. And the Territories, this is their first game, Northwest Territories' first game. They had a bye yesterday and draw 1. Northern Ontario lost their opener. So really key here for Northern Ontario to find a way to sit 2.
So Territories have done well. If this is their first game, getting used to the club and the ice, and having a really good game against Northern Ontario. Looking at some different options here. So run back an option. Can they get at it with a little bit of a weight and follow the same path that was just thrown, but with hack weight or board weight?
They could also play the corner guard slash it in.
Yeah, that's an option.
They seem to be looking at the one top 12 foot more than the slash there. You see Kelly is thinking more about the slash. It looks like they're going to try and follow the path, a little more weight, bump it out, sit 2. Could sit 3 even, but 2 is the objective to be sitting here.
Right, so if they've chosen to do this, they'll need to move it a few feet. If they could sit, like you said, if they could sit 2, they'll be in good position. Don't need to push it out of the house.
You can see in the hack, Kelly is
laughing.
Yeah. And I mean, the whole end seemed to be shaping up in Northern Ontario's corner, and then you had Kristen Thompson come down and make an absolutely clutch draw around those guards and take the end away from Northern Ontario. So
yeah, that was a full point draw. Good for her. That's a lot of pressure at that point to make that shot through a really difficult port.
So final stone for Northern Ontario's Kelly Stevenson Beta. without hammer. Needs to steal 2. Facing 1 Northwest Territory counter, but she does have second and third shot, so she looks to be playing the pick. Needs to curl, not a there they go.
Plenty of weight, looking for the line here.
Looks like they were playing the redirect on that at the end, and not quite. So it will be Northwest Territories that hangs on. Their first game, their first win, Northern Ontario rather, will slip to 0-2 as that game and draw comes to a conclusion. Some applause here from the fans of the Kelowna Curling Club. We'll be back at 3 p.m. Pacific time on the women's side. We'll be featuring this afternoon. We'll have the coverage of New Brunswick and Nunavut. And on the men's sheet 5, we'll have the Yukon Territory taking on British Columbia. Hope you can join us again. Lori Seaman alongside Darren McEwen. Thank you so much, Lori, for helping out today. And you'll be back this week?
I will be back this week.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Have a good day.
This ice is everything. It's where I come to feel close to her, to feel whole. This building helped raise me when my mother no longer could. When I step on the ice, she steps with me. My dad is my rock. We're a team now, like the 4 of us when we step on the ice. People say that this isn't a contact sport, but that's not true. It contacts you where you need it the most.